Mr. Chair, what is drawing people from Los Santos to Queens, what you're turning it into is a hobo. That's what you're doing. And you know what? The homeowners are paying these taxes, and you know what, based on that tax plan that Republicans pushed through, big places like that aren't paying a dime. How much revenue is going to come in here? Because buying those sandwiches, that's not going to do it. Watch these homeowners, they're already paying high taxes. And you know what? In the small, you got enough parking decks that stay empty. Headquarters, 776, you know what? They're never full. They're never full. As long as you put a monstrosity, and I know it too, as long as you put a monstrosity up there, you're talking about dividing people, you are. When you put something up like that, you're dividing the second ward from the rest of the town.
Hello, everybody. My name is Roger Smith. I'm design director for Gensler here in Morristown. Our offices are on the green, just a block away from.
Can you turn the volume up a little bit?
Can't hear it? Can you hear it now? Okay. Is that good? Got it? Okay. I'm design director for architecture at Gensler, which is right on the green. We've been here for years and are really committed to this city. And what we want to do is create something that actually does make a difference here and is something that everybody can be proud of. That's our goal. So one of the reasons we're here tonight is to hear from you and understand what the issues are so we can fold that into our thinking, because we're really committed to making this a special place. And I'd just like to start by talking a little bit about the site. We know the site. A lot of people use this site. Retail is active here. And we're very interested in maintaining that and making it a part of our vision for the future of this street. The parking lot at the moment divides the street in a significant way from the retail. And we'd like to do something to change that in some way.
It's always full.
It is full. It is full. The fact of the matter is, retail is vibrant here. And we're going to maintain that. That's not changing. That's a very important part of what we're doing. So we'll talk about it.
I'd like to see the stores lined up and not scattered.
All right.
What's that?
I'd like to go from
excuse me.
Marshalls if I want
Excuse me.
to cluck you.
I'm going to ask everybody to not call out and interrupt the presentation, okay? It's just basic respect, okay? So we'll get to the questions and answers at the end. I know that we tried to be flexible with this, but people are starting to shout during this, and I think it's disrupting other people. So just please show the respect. Thank you.
And we are here to listen. So understand that. We really are. That's an important part of this process, and we understand that. So the retail is an important part of this. The parking lot separates the retail from the street. It is full. But one of the things we'd like to do is bring that retail, reposition that retail to the street again. So we can have an active, vibrant street life and connect that street life to the rest of the town. Not create barriers, but create connections. That's important. That's an important role that urban planning has, and it's a significant approach that we have here. That's one of the drivers. We're thinking about every one of you. We're thinking about us. We live and work here as well. We want to be proud of this, and we want the community to be proud of it. Okay, sorry. So one of the things we noticed about the site immediately is, right now the green, which you see in this area, is about 40 feet plus from the site itself. So it's much higher. Obviously, Headquarters Plaza, some of the other buildings are much higher than that. What we're proposing is to take the retail, reposition it, and bring it to the street. So retail would suddenly come to the street and line the street, and the office buildings that Frank talked about would rest on top of that retail. The nature of the retail and the way that retail works is an important part of making a successful, vibrant street. That's important to us. You don't see it here yet, but we'll talk about it. This is a section that just shows you a little bit about those sort of height differences I was talking about. The 40 feet up to the green, down to Morris Street. Again, Headquarters Plaza, probably just over 100 feet over our buildings in terms of height. The tower of the spire of the Presbyterian Church, probably about 50 feet higher than the building itself. But it kind of lends itself to this sort of low-lying area that, in a way, doesn't doesn't set up a situation where it feels like it's hovering over the green, which we all love and cherish. So what are we doing here? What's our approach? Well, the first is the components. As I mentioned to you, we're proposing an office building with a retail base that wraps all along Morris Street and down Spring. Again, the idea is to make a connection from Morris to Spring and from Morris to the green. That's an important part of this. As Frank was telling you, one of the things that we could do is we could build, typically what you do is you build to the lot line and you try to maximize the square footage. What we try to do is to balance all of the necessary components in a way that is going to be successful and actually reinforce the character of not only the street, but Morristown. This is important to us. So instead of a sort of massive structure here, we wanted to break it down. So we broke it down first by creating a 6-story building. Again, the floor plate needs to be open and dimensionally flexible for office, so that's critical for Class A office tenants, any office tenant, frankly. We separated that with a courtyard that's 80 feet wide between the two buildings, and then an 8-story building which sets back and mediates the scale a bit here. So that was really important for us to sort of break down that scale. Secondly, any office tenant is going to need parking. We know there are a lot of parking issues here, but one of the things that this project does is satisfy the parking needs within the complex itself. And the beauty of it is it's embedded in terms of really good urban planning. You want to embed that into the structures themselves. So it's not an active part of the streetscape. In fact, you can't see this from Morris Street. We've taken great pains to make it something that's in the background. And that's important to us as well. But one of the most important things we think, again, is the fact that instead of bringing it to the actual lot line, we've actually taken the building, set it back almost 50 feet from the street in order to create an opportunity for a greenway, a park that lines the entire length of the building, connecting down to Spring Street and the neighborhoods beyond, in order to make a beautiful connection where people can actually enjoy not only the retail, but enjoy the gathering and special things that can happen in front along this park. This is a plan that kind of shows that. So there are a couple components of this. The first is this promenade that I just described, which runs the length of the building in front. These are the two buildings I described with the courtyard, with the courtyard in between. The courtyard is important to this project because what it does is it allows for vehicular drop-off off of Morris Street so it doesn't disrupt the sort of activity and the life of the street, and then connects back to the parking deck, which you see back here. We've done a number of things through planting the courtyard and creating a green wall at the garage in order to make a more interesting courtyard. But as you move down the street, we created a series of spaces: the plaza, the retail terrace for dining, and then as you make your way down Spring Street through a series of stairs and terraces, a streetscape plaza for the neighborhood. So this is, we sort of offered up this space to the public, which represents about the size of half of a football field that is given over to the public for their activities. And what I'm going to show you next is what this looks like. This is a plan. It's hard to really understand what it's all about. But I'm going to show you a view from this corner, looking west back towards the green. And this is that image. And what it shows you is a tree-lined street with ample space for gathering, for sitting, for waiting for friends, for having your lunch, for reading a book, and really enjoying the street life of Morristown. It really becomes an extension of the downtown, we hope, and it activates the space. Retail that you can see on the right, clear glass, activity, all of that sort of energizes and creates a vital streetscape. And we hope it will be an important contribution to the city that everybody will enjoy. But that's not the only thing we're trying to do.
We're a town.
I'm sorry, did I say, I didn't mean that. I know it's a town. I grew up in a small town, and I appreciate that. What I'd like to do is introduce Matt, who's going to talk about how we integrate sort of the pedestrian experience, which we're trying to enhance here, and the transportation issues.
Morristown Green.